All right, welcome back to Gilmore Geeks. My name is Aaron.
My name is Vicki.
Silvana.
There she is. So we didn't we will freely admit today's preparation did not meet the standard of what we probably should be doing on the weekly basis. We all realized that it was recording time here, and we're like, oh, we probably should do this, so we're gonna do it. We normally record on Sunday afternoons every other week, but tomorrow I have an announcing event at our local raceway that I'm doing because we're doing our winter season, so we will not be able to do it. So we're doing it on a Saturday, which is different and always entertaining. So the question of the day that we came up with is, what was your favorite Halloween costume, or what is one of your favorite Halloween costumes that you've ever worn? So I'm a big old geek, of course. Hi, Gilmore Geeks. Welcome to the show. I'm a Star Trek geek / nerd, and many years ago, this is more than 10 or 15 years ago, there used to be a space in, I believe it was Las Vegas, called Star Trek The Experience, and it was a themed whole thing, and they had a gift shop. It was the biggest thing that you could go and experience Star Trek. There was all kinds of interactive stuff. It was legit. Well, it eventually closed, but while it was open, they had things you could buy, and one of them was the Star Trek uniforms that were featured in the Star Trek movies from Wrath of Khan to Undiscovered Country. They are called the Monster Maroons, and they are the traditional military-looking uniforms that the characters wore during that time, and Las Vegas The Experience was selling them, and you could buy them, and I bought it online because I wasn't obviously going to go to Las Vegas. I can't remember how much it cost. It must have been $300+, but I still have it to this day, and I went and got through Amazon and Etsy, I bought the little things you put on the uniform, and so I have that uniform, and I've been able to wear it. I've obviously grown since then, 15, 20 years ago, but I still try to bust it out when Halloween comes around, or I'm trying to lose weight so I can wear it again, because it's sized for 2002 or 2003 Aaron, which obviously is a very different Aaron from 2025 Aaron, both in age and size and all that kind of stuff. So that's my uniform that I like. That's my Halloween thing that when I have a chance to wear it, I'll wear it. I did not wear it for our Friday school day because it would have been hot and warm, and I would have overheated.
But you wore it to Comic-Con or whatever it's called, convention a couple years ago.
Fan Expo here in Denver.
Yeah, we came
Denver.
across a Star Trek display with the same uniform, and I kindly asked Aaron to pose in front of it the same way.
Yep. It was a Captain Kirk kind of pose thing. So
yeah, I took a picture.
Yep. So that's mine. Silvana, what's your favorite costume or costume you really have good memories of?
Well, okay, so I was Cinderella for a couple years as a kid, and then after that, for the next 10 years, I was Dracula's daughter, starting second grade. Yeah, so vampire costumes are always my go-to. Okay. At any point, I always have fake blood and vampire teeth on tap, so if you needed a costume at last second, I am genuinely always ready. And you could be a vampire of any period. Okay. You could be freshly turned, just throw a couple eyeliner dots and some fake blood, and there you go. So it's versatile and flexible, and it's the quickest thing.
I like it. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, Vicki.
So I have this tradition ever since I started teaching of dressing up like an alien.
Okay.
It started in social studies. I was trying to get my 5th graders to explain to someone who wasn't from an area a historical concept, and I was like, what if I would pretended to be an alien, and they have to explain to me how to get around, and it took off. The kids started calling me Mrs. Alien, and they told me that I needed to get a costume and be it for Halloween, and so I'm now in year 6 of teaching, and there's a full body costume that happens on Halloween, and the kids love it. And I have a whole backstory that continues to grow with what planet I live on, and that I'm a vegetarian, so they don't have to be afraid, because I kind of use a column voice like this, which Aaron is not a fan. He is not a fan of Mrs. Alien. But it brings joy and amusement, and I look forward to doing full costume every year.
Yeah, it's a fun time. All right, well, there's your Halloween themed for as we're recording this on November 1st. We'll be right back here with episode 2 of season 1, and it is titled Lorelai's First Day at Chilton.
It's a rough day.
It's going to be an entertaining conversation. We'll be right back here on the Gilmore Geeks. Be back in a flash. Welcome back to the Gilmore Geeks. My name is Aaron.
My name's Vicki.
And our third compatriot to the triple threat match. I don't know. I was trying to come up with something with triple, but there we
Musketeers.
go. Yeah, we're the third member of the Musketeers is
Silvana.
Okay. All right. So episode 2, I guess it's one of those episodes where everything kind of happens. We're past the pilot. We're now into the first real full episode. Silvana was kind enough to share the link for the transcript. There are actually a couple of websites out there with the transcript / the scripts, so we've got that to help us through. I took notes as well because I'm just a note taker. The opening of the scene is where we are doing toe painting. Where Lorelai is painting Rory's toes.
Never was there a more true mother-daughter scene than this one.
Yeah. It's
Truly.
It's interesting. But it's also very short. There's not a lot of lead in. There's not a lot of kind of any world building that happens. It's just a cold open. Here we are. We're doing that, and theme song. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So then So then we get into the morning. So Lane comes up with the XTC Apple Venus Volume 2. They listen to the music. Anyway, there we go. So Lorelai is sleeping, and we now discovered that Lorelai, she's not a morning person.
Well, she's also I would say she's pressure prompted.
Yeah.
There are people who are early starters and they hate stress, so they want to get it done early.
Yeah.
And then those who are pressure prompted, and it's kind of they thrive in the last minute and they tend to put things off to the last minute. And she's one of those.
Pressure prompted. That is a really nice way to call somebody a procrastinator. I like that.
Well, you find this out honestly with couples. There's somebody who gets the paperwork done early, and there's someone who gets the paperwork done at the last minute.
Yep. So
I'll let you decide which one both of us are.
So
I think Aaron gets it done immediately, and Vicki are like me.
No, it's the opposite actually.
Yeah, I'm
really.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting better at getting stuff
Mr.
done.
Note Taker.
Oh,
okay.
you should ask.
I apologize for underestimating.
Yeah, when we fostered, this was like a thing.
Yeah. So I'm also just
funny.
So part of it is because during as a teacher, my day is full of work and paperwork and getting assignments graded and doing filling out it's bell to bell intensive work on and just working through documents and working through Excel sheets and all these things. And so by the time I get home, I'm I have no more capacity for any kind of any of that. So it's hard for me to really get into any kind of other paperwork.
And I'm let me get it done now so I don't have to think about it later. One less thing on my plate.
Yeah.
That's why y'all make a great couple.
Yeah, that's why it works. One of the many reasons why it works. So Rory wakes up her mother, and it's 7:10. No, it's 5:45. And she grabs her the clock and shows it, and Lorelai's, it's 7:10. This whole scene is fantastic.
And they've switched roles. Rory is definitely being the mother here.
Yeah. And so then, where's the bathroom? Lorelai, she has this all planned. I was going to get ready. I had to pick up my clothes from the dry cleaners.
And it's don't do this the morning of.
Yeah. And she says, oh my goodness, my clothes. And she walks down with Rory trailing her. I don't have any clean clothes. Rory's, and what we happen now is we have this kind of cool duality. And Silvana, you can speak to this a little bit of where Rory's that kind of, she's the clock. It's 7:15, 7:16, 7:18. Yeah. And Lorelai's I was gonna do this. You know what time, lady? It's fantastic.
Rory is the monologuing of anxiety, and Lorelai is all the thoughts that go in between.
Right. Yeah. She calls her, well, you know what time, lady? don't you go warm up the car? So then we get her.
This outfit.
The outfit. Walk
hurts.
me, Silvana. We'll start with you. I have not watched Gilmore Girls in a couple of years. It's been a bit, and so, walk us through what Lorelai decides to find that's clean in her closet.
Well, I mean, later she says it's laundry day, but she is rocking what I call home clothes.
Yeah.
Where you don't expect anybody to actually see you. And if you do, it's errands. It's going to be people you don't know, so it doesn't matter. So she's got like a cute pink crop top tie-dye t-shirt, some shorts, a messy ponytail, and like cowboy boots.
Right.
It's the cowboy boots that do it for me. If she'd thrown on tennis shoes, meh. But it's the cowboy boots that really just throw the chaos. In addition to everything else,
it's the finishing touch. It's the cherry on top of the mess of the really just terrible banana split sundae she's making. She gets down. Roy's like, it's 7, and she just stares at her mother. It's just like, but I love the quote of like, don't even think about finishing that sentence. What? She says, nothing. I didn't know the rodeo was in town. And she's like, that's all right. That's it. And
I'm bringing the baby pictures.
Yeah, she's like, I'm bringing the baby pictures.
That's the ultimate mom threat, too.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So she, and then Roy's like, no, I'm sorry. I love the rodeo. The rodeo rules. And then we're driving through town. And
so this next bit in the script I sent you guys doesn't actually play.
Yeah.
So they don't actually say anything. So it's kind of interesting how they cut some bits off. So for the people listening, we're looking at a script and Lorelai has a couple just like random quips while Rory kind of watches her old school and all these kids kind of like fly by. So it's interesting how they cut it. I think it was a good cut because it's just like unnecessary fluff. So it's just more of Lorelai's anxiety becoming external.
Yeah, so it's that her line, so the camera pans through town, finally sitting on the Jeep, and then the Stars Hollow sign, which does exist in the scene. But Lorelai's lines that she doesn't say is she says, I'm so done with plans, I'm never making one again, it never works. I spend the day over obsessing why it didn't work and why I could have done it differently. It doesn't tonally fit.
Have a backup plan.
Well, and it doesn't tonally fit with Lorelai. It's very it doesn't sound like her really at all.
She's just depressed. This is all falling apart.
Yeah. And it's very interesting. Then her next line when they're inside the Jeep and they're driving, I'm analyzing all my shortcomings when all I really need is vowing never to make a plan ever again, which I'm doing now, having once again been the innocent victim of my own stupid plans. Now, I mean, we all would agree with that, but it just doesn't sound right. Yes. It sounds really, I don't know, whatever.
Well, there's this thing with life is like life happens and you can't prepare. Like the best plans can
life
fall by
happens
wayside.
while you're making plans.
Yeah. Or like, for example, like speaking of the unexpected, our heater died on Wednesday.
Oh, shoot.
So, and
Lovely.
It did not get fixed until today.
Yep.
So you can't plan for that. So some of the stuff that we did is we slept with an extra blanket on our bed last night. Like things like that, having that stuff around so that you can make do.
Well, and I think it's interesting character-wise, and Silvana, you can kind of speak a little bit to this in this kind of conversation of Lorelai she makes us mad because we all were watching her going, ma'am, set your like alarm, set 2 alarms, like
have a backup outfit. Oh my gosh. Don't do laundry the day before this.
There's a lot of I guess for you, Silvana, I guess talk to us about how important it is to have a character who does annoy you as a viewer or a reader, especially in the early. We're still obviously in season 1. We've got, and we'll talk about the mistake we made in the last episode here in a second. We have several seasons to go, and I guess the question is that how important is it for a character to actually have a start to their arc? Like, why does that matter both in writing and in television, obviously?
I mean, it's like the beginning of their lore, as the kids would say nowadays. So it's like the beginning of that character development. This is the before the rising action. This is the expedition. This is the setting of her character, who is just kind of always a little bit of mess. She pull it together? Yes. And you see that when she goes to work and is in her flippy skirt that she knows she looks lovely in.
Right.
But like, this is her, it's just establishing that kind of, she's sometimes more of the daughter rather than the mom almost in the interactions with Rory. Because like you said, Vicki, she doesn't have a plan B, and then Rory is literally the clock counting down the minutes. I also kind of view sometimes Lorelai as like the comedic relief. You know, like Shakespeare always has very specific characters that are the comedic relief. Lorelai functions as that in a lot of the episodes, because the stakes are either really high,
right,
or like not at all, right? And I would say first day stakes are kind of high,
right,
and Rory's stressed, Lorelai wants to make a good impression, and what does she do? She just absolutely biffs it in like the most Lorelai way, and she will do this over and over and over again. So it's the establishing of her character, and I think it's the earning her that spot as like the comedic relief occasionally.
Yeah, and I think we're able to, and it's that moment where you're not really, sometimes you're not sure whether to laugh at Lorelai or with her, because she dances on that line of like, I'm kind of sassy, but I'm almost like sassy being mean about it. And we'll get to her. We'll get to her and her mom and how that relationship. Again, early episodes, early days. They are not in it. They haven't been in a good place for quite some time. What I like about this show, and what I like about, again, and I'm going to make this argument, and I'm probably going to sound like, oh, you just want the old good old days. What we get is, in this show, we get a growth that takes time with Lorelai. She doesn't immediately fix her relationship with her mom. Yeah. It takes a long time with the show for her and Emily to find a place where they're kind of managing to not want to strangle each other. And so this is an interesting thing, and I'm going to take a slight detour into kind of talking about the television of yesterday and the television of today. I think we talked about it on the last episode a little bit, but in the years of the Gilmore Girls and the Star Trek Next Generations, Deep Space Nine, all those old school shows that had the 24 episode seasons, there was room to tell the stories in a larger sense. There was room to focus in on characters. There was room to do that. And what has happened in Hollywood and in TV and all that is we are now no longer in that world. We are in the season. Every season's going to have maybe 8 episodes if we're lucky, maybe 12 if they get motivated. But we don't have character arcs have a habit of getting resolved quicker, or they get really drawn out to be frustrating. And it's just like, look, tell a competent story, please, so that I'm not just going like, we're the stakes, to your statement, is the stakes are either really high or really low. But in the television we see today, the stakes are pretty intense sometimes for these shows, but the resolution,
they're always high.
Yeah, they're always high. It's always like the world is ending or something bad has happened. It's like, I need to. Yes. I don't. There's so much, because again they're doing it in such short time. You have to keep the tension up and everything. There's no real time to take a step back and breathe or have a filler episode or whatever. And there's plenty of filler episodes in the Gilmore Girls universe that we're going to get to. Oh, yeah. We're going to just be delighted to experience them. But I guess that's the question: is do we? And I hate to say it, but I don't think we're going to go back to having 24 episodes in a season for any of the shows. Do you think? And I guess that's a question for you, Silvana, and us as a larger group. But I'll start with you. Do you think that's good? And how do you think it impacts how our stories are told?
I think it's incredibly frustrating, actually. This is something that pisses me off so much with television lately, that I do a lot of rewatching of old things. I watch a lot of Buffy, like you, Vicki, and that's 24 episodes in a season. And then like an example of like TV now that really irritates me is, did you guys ever watch like the Outlander show?
Vicki did.
Yeah, I got through them all.
Have you watched the new stuff? Because I have not.
Only the stuff on Netflix is what I've seen.
Okay, fair. Well, okay, I have not watched any of the new stuff either. I don't watch it because a lot of the slow moments in the book that allow the time for that character growth and development don't happen in the show. There is not enough time in 8 episodes to allow for those slow moments. So I think it is something that really damages our modern media life. It doesn't, life reflects art, art reflects life. It doesn't really do that anymore. No one's life is that high stake all the time. This is a much slower kind of meander through their relationships and how it goes together. So I think it is a detriment to storytelling by how quickly things must be summed up.
Yeah, it's interesting. So like I've been watching I do a podcast over on bravofleet.com. It's a Star Trek fans. We've been doing Strange New Worlds, and we've been going through some of the episodes. And I think it's interesting because there's the phenomenon that happened with Strange New Worlds that I observed and my co-host agreed with is there were these weird filler episodes that had no weight, like they were holodeck episodes where and the characters in the holodeck, they were cast from the actual regular cast, but the holodeck used them as as like avatars of characters in the holodeck story that it was telling. And so you got to see Anson Mount in a different character, but the arc and the stuff that was happening didn't really have any meaning for the show. It was just a fun little romp through a holodeck detective story, and the only 2 characters that really changed was Spock and La'an. And it was kind of like we got to the end of that episode and was like, so what really happened here? We spent we spent 55 minutes just to get La'an and Spock to have a moment where they quote unquote fell in love really, really quickly. And it didn't feel earned. It felt like, okay, you didn't want you're now trying to do Dawson's Creek on Star Trek, and it feels forced because Dawson's Creek, of course, had 20 to 24 episodes to pull off all of their storylines through their various seasons. But with Star Trek Strange New Worlds, we're doing it in, I think, 8 or 10 episodes. And so it has to happen fast because you can't pause. Like you said, you can't take that step back and go, okay, let's begin to show and kind of tease out this relationship and maybe begin to kind of speak to it halfway through the season where it will make sense that it's moving at that speed and we're still telling stories in the background that have weight and have matter in the universe. Whereas, like you said, to your point, the television now, it's high stakes every time, and it moves, and things happen very quickly, and you can't kind of just go, wow, this is like, okay, so similar Supernatural, right? Supernatural ran for like what, 17 plus seasons. It's insane. That show went crazy long. When some people argue that Supernatural went longer than it should. But what I have loved about Supernatural, because I'm back and watching it again, and I watch it when I have some time off, is I know that I'm going to have a good long season of like 24 episodes ahead of me where they're going to tease out the mythology of the show and the characters. We're still going to get the story of his father. We're still going to get stories of the larger universe and the friends, and they're going to develop it over time. So when they meet up with Jim Beaver plays one of his father's friends who becomes a central part of the boys' experience and helping them and whatever, but he develops, his connection to them develops over the season, so that by the time we get to the next 4, 5, 6, 7 season, whatever, his development happens. It's not just like, oh cool, he's here, let's go. It's no, he's helping where he can, and then as the story unfolds, he becomes more and more part of the story and more part, and that's like, I think. And I think this is the point. And we'll get back to Gilmore Girls because that's the Gilmore Girls podcast, but it's also a writing podcast talking about story.
We're allowed to tangent.
Dang, yes, it's in the Constitution of something. So somewhere in the Constitution that I wrote.
The delayed Constitution.
Yeah, the Gilmore Geeks Constitution. Tangents are allowed and encouraged. Okay. So I think because we've experienced those 24 episode seasons, because we're old enough to have been in that time and remember it and remember the goodness and the greatness of it and the depths and the storytelling. Now, no show is perfect. We're not saying that the shows we've talked about are perfect in their execution of it. But shows were allowed to develop. Shows were allowed to build steam and get to a point where they were going with really good stuff and good storylines, because that's just how it works. with new television, there's shows that have 10 episodes and then they're canceled because they don't catch on. Because then those 10 episodes, they didn't get people's attention because we are a nation of short-term memory people with TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, all these apps. Everything is built towards a short attention span. I guarantee you put a 24-episode series in front of anybody who's at least 18 years or maybe a little younger, they won't be able to keep up. They won't be able to want to, it's such a long series. Yeah, that's how it used to be. But what we've done is we've short-termed our attention span so that we can't watch more than 10 we just like, oh, it's too much. It's like, no, that was great storytelling because you had ample amount of canvas to tell the story.
But if you missed an episode with cable because you were doing something else, it was so aggravating.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in high school, so I was the nerd that also did cheerleading, and I missed Buffy because of it, and so we would tape it. Yeah. Because I was determined. I was like, I'm not going to miss it, Buffy. I want to watch it.
Yeah. No,
but even like missing a single episode of Buffy, the overall plot of like Sunnydale is a hellmouth, blah blah blah. You're not missing the bigger things. Are you missing the episode where Xander is going to potentially be turned into a hyena?
Yeah,
maybe.
But the worst ones were the part 1 and the part 2, though, when it was like to be continued, and you miss that second episode.
But it doesn't have the same, like, you miss one episode out of eight.
Yeah,
like you're missing a major like. Stuff has happened. True. It's gone down.
Yeah.
You miss one episode out of 24.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little more negligible. The story has more time to develop.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's so there you go. There's our rant about why, and I think here's the thing. If you go back and you watch the behind the scenes on these shows, you even if you watch the behind the scenes on the Gilmore Girls, they talk about how like long hours it is. It's a lot like the shooting a television show, a 24-episode television show in a season. It was long hours. It was a lot of work. You worked a lot of hours. You did it all. And there's suggestion, and I don't know how true this is, but there's the idea of like modern television actors and actresses who are in these now shows in 2025 and a little earlier. They've not worked, and this is going to sound super judgy, so just let me paint with it and we'll deal with it later. That they haven't worked as hard in the ways that others did in the past.
Yeah.
Because they weren't putting in those long hours to get those episodes shot in a week's time, and then the next week was the next episode, and you put in the work to make good television because you had to do the 24 seasons because that's how the system was set up, because you had to have it ready for sweeps, you had it ready for this. Like there was all this stuff with strictly television when it wasn't streaming, but now that it's streaming, now there's the availability. Oh, we can save money, quote unquote, or we can do whatever, and we can only produce 10 episodes and it's fine. But then you have this situation where it becomes kind of, to your all's point, it becomes long form. You can't skip an episode of Stranger Things. You can't. You cannot miss it. You have to watch it from start to finish because it is a long form story being told. And I understand it's a lot of like, it's great. Like Stranger Things has definitely been an incredible impact and all that, but it's also like in a larger sense, we've lost the long form content. And we're taking our attention spans and our ability to sit down and be able to enjoy that, and we're making a mess of it. So there you go. There's my rant. Anything else before we move back over to the Gilmore Girls again?
Nah, let's jump in.
Okay, back to Gilmore Girls. Okay, so we're back on track. We are back now. We're at Chilton. And they are looking at it's an intimidating place.
I know, honestly, like looking at it again, it makes me want to look at photos we have of where we got married, because I was like, man, it really does look like it.
Yep.
It did. This is also kind of just like an iconic shot. It's in almost every season's like little opening song. Them sitting in the car, Lorelai in her Daisy Dukes, and then like with their little head turned, looking up at the school.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I have some trivia about it. So this is the Greystone Mansion in LA was used for the exteriors of Chilton and some of the interiors as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of cool how they do it.
I'd love to live there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's
I was like, that was a mansion? That looked like a university.
Yeah.
Like I can't picture it as like, not someone's home. A castle. Okay.
Imagine.
Yep.
One day.
And then, this is the fun part. So she's like, "Oh, we're good. We have to see ya. Bye." And Rory's like, "You're kidding, right?" And she's like, "No, you have to go in with me." And Lorelai's like, "Look," she's like, "You have to meet the headmaster." And Laura's like, "No, this is a terrible idea." And Rory's like, "You are not getting out of this going in with me on my first day." So she gets all the judging, she gets all the looks,
and she gets hit on.
Yeah, so
that kills me
immediately.
Now I don't. So again, it's been a while, so I'm coming in a little blind. The guy that hits on her, we see him later in the episode. He's Tristan's dad, isn't he? Or no? Or is he not related?
He is. I think he is Tristan's dad.
Okay, because he's equally.
Nope. His daughter's Julia.
Oh, okay. So it's his daughter. Okay, we got to make sure. So here's a Kevin and Demi in their show Gilmore Guys. They were young. They were in their early 20s, maybe mid 20s when they produced that podcast. About 10 plus years ago, 10 years ago. They had a part of the shows where they would have the Gilmore goofs where they'd be like, well, we messed up. We forgot about this, or we didn't do this right, or whatever. So we have our own version of that, the Gilmore mess-ups, or what are we going to call it, the bloopers. So when we were on our episode, we got called out in our YouTube comments, gently, of course, and very kindly as Gilmore fans, Gillies, as they're known affectionately from the Gilmore Guys podcast. We got gently corrected that it was the 6 seasons total. Seven seasons total, and then the reboot that occurred with the new. So season 7 is the abomination.
Not season 6.
Yeah, seasons 1 through 6 is fine. That's the Paladinos were at the helm.
Yeah, we needed to know that.
And then season 7 is the terrible. I haven't seen more than 15 minutes of season 7, so I'm really looking forward to that. So just
you know what? I was an English major. Numbers have never been my forte, so we're gonna call that a boo-boo.
In my head, I was like, I thought it was 7, and I was like, well, they're bigger fans than me. They must be right.
Don't remember.
It's a good lesson for me.
We are not professionals when it comes to the Gilmore Girls remembering numbers. We're terrible. Math is not our strength. Language arts is.
No.
Yes. Writing is our strength, but apparently we can't count seasons, so we're sorry. So there's that. So okay. So we got that figured out. We don't want to state something that's incorrect. So she puts her coat on and she manages to cover up her shorts and everything. We're like, oh, okay, everything's gonna be fine. And the man walks by and he's like, "Are you lost? We're looking at the head right here, downstairs. You're welcome." And she's like, "Ooh, who are you?" "Oh, my daughter, Daddy, Julia." And it's like this total flirtation. And here's the thing, character-wise, and I had forgotten about this. Lorelai, she's flirtatious. She's kind of leaning into this a little bit.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, she's I love it. And he's also kind of short-circuiting.
Imagine getting hit on when you're feeling your worst.
Yeah.
Like when you're like, I do not look my best, and
right.
You're hitting on me.
Right.
That's a great ego boost.
Yeah.
It is.
I love his line, "Your daughter, really? Huh, well, that's great. I mean, daughters are a great thing." And she's like, "We're big fans."
Also, like, who else is she going to be there with? Other than her daughter, like who did you think she was? She's not a student, obviously. So right. I was just like, that was.
It's a little weird. It's what they're trying to do story wise and character wise is they're trying to the writers are trying to make it clear that Lorelai's young because she had her daughter young when she was still in high, like whatever.
Yes.
So then. They go back and forth. "Oh, so is your husband here? Love to meet him." "Oh, I'm not married. I'd love to meet your wife, though. I'm divorced." And she says, "Shame." She's like, "Oh, shame." I'm just like, and Rory is sitting there going, Mom.
Like, we are already late.
Yeah. He just, So then he says, "Where do you work?" And she says, "Oh, the Independence Inn.
I'm the owner."
Yeah, in a different outfit. And he tells Julia he'll look out. Great, thanks. And so they're on. Lorelai waves.
Oh, I love Rory's line, though, where she was like, "You're feeling pretty good about yourself." Yeah. She's like, do you remember what you're wearing? Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
She needed
Do you want me to get you a mirror?
Wake up.
Right. Lorelai's, "I'm back. Let's go." Smile's gone. So they're on their way. What I love about this moment is we think that it's going to be fine. We also get introduced to Paris. Not like dialogue wise yet, but Paris and her two minions are with her.
Her cronies.
Yeah, her cronies. Her plastic sentries, if you will.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
the original Mean Girls, Smart Girl edition.
The original, yeah. And Paris, like I love that Paris is at least we don't get like how she's written is really awesome. And again, I will never stop talking about how Amy Sherman Palladino and Daniel Palladino.
I have trivia about Paris.
Okay, we'll get there in just a second.
Okay, I cannot wait.
I like Paris because she's intelligent. Now she's mean. Eventually, we know that. I mean, spoiler alert. Hi, welcome to the Gilmore Geeks podcast. We've been at this for a while. The Gilmore Girls has been out for a long time. There's no real need to spoilers, but this is your general spoiler alert. Paris and Rory do grow closer in friendship, and they become kind of amicable, and they kind of become a team. And so there's that arc that's coming. But what we get out of here is that so Paris is not written like a typical mean girl, like a typical dumb, whatever you want to call it.
She's ambitious.
She's intelligent. She knows what's going on, and she feels like she's the boss of the school. So that part of her is still intact, but she's also given significant intelligence and smartness, which is awesome, and I love that she has that agency. And they didn't write her in the stereotypical way that you would write a plastic person. So they get to the door, they open the door, and
Emily's there.
Well, no, they get to the secretary.
Ba-ba-bum.
Yeah, I'm Lorelai Gilmore, but we need a store for them. And she's just like, is the headmaster here? One moment.
All of the women in this school, all the adult women, are
mean.
very severe.
Yeah.
I love what she says to Rory. This is why you take off your makeup at night before you go to bed.
Yes.
I had forgotten about that.
Every girl knows about that. You take off your makeup. You do your skincare.
I love those little moments where you're just like, oh man, there's a story there somewhere. Headmaster Charleston, Lorelai goes in, and guess what? Mom is there.
I just
Ba-ba-bum.
can't keep your nose out of the business, can you?
Well, you have to. So again, from a writing standpoint, from a character standpoint, we understand Emily. We understand because now, obviously, she feels, and they have this dialogue back and forth about, just because you're paying for it doesn't mean you can do all this. And she's like, really? And so you have this part where Mom now has the money to hang over Lorelai, and the payment of the tuition, which again is not cheap. What was your trivia about Paris? I apologize. We blew past that.
So Lisa Wheel was supposed to be Rory at first.
Oh, yeah.
But Amy
No
Sherman,
way.
yes, she was considered for her. But Amy Sherman Palladino liked her so much, she created the role of Paris for her.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
That's so funny.
I can't imagine her playing anything else.
Me either. But I think about Lindsay Lohan and Mean Girls. She was supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
The character, like Mean Girl head, but then she ended up being this other character. Kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, because you can see in Paris's character, you can see that intelligence, you can see that social anxiety as it develops later on, where she starts to lose it a lot. Like she needs to be told that she's good, even though she has that confidence. It's that imposter syndrome versus the confidence, and she's that duality of kind of her identity struggles. And so, in some ways, Paris is the parallel to Rory, and they do intersect at times because they both have the similar issues and similar struggles. So it makes sense why she would have initially been cast or had an opportunity to read for Rory, but she's got that hard edge to her, which I don't think would have played well as Rory, because you would have had to she would have really had to.
Rory's too nice.
Yeah, well, and Rory's the innocent person, the innocent girl. Like that's like, and we're gonna. They
literally call her Mary.
Tristan is my least favorite boy.
There's so many guys in high school. Okay, like Tristan, I swear.
Yeah, no, he's and nobody. And if you do like him, you need to go get yourself. you need to go talk to somebody, because Tristan is no. Unless, I mean, if you can find a redeeming quality for Tristan, I'm happy to hear it in the comments.
He's cute. That's about it.
Yeah. Well,
he was played by Chad Michael Murray, who I was a big fan of at the time. So that's his redeeming quality.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to talk a lot about, because I've listened to the Gilmore Guys podcast up to season 3. I'm still working through it. But they in season 1, when they talk about him, they have a nickname for him. They call him Chad Michael Mudface, because they do not like they do not like Tristan.
He's such a Chad.
And his character is that way. But he goes on, I think, to One Tree Hill, and doesn't portray a nice guy there either, I don't think.
Nope.
So yeah, Tristan is not our favorite. We don't, and what I like about it, and I guess, Silvana, we can swerve into writer's lane for a second. How important is it to have characters in your story or your show that are absolutely unredeemable? Why does that matter so much, I guess, and why it matters here?
They function kind of like a juxtaposition as a foil.
Yeah.
They also create the rising action. This is the stakes that Rory's against. This weird, attractive, rich dude who's going to call her Mary. Like, it's the juxtaposition of her from her small town in her old school compared to, like, rich, snobby kid. They've got names for new girls like Mary. Like, it's just, he's a great mirror in comparison to Rory. Because, like, Paris is kind of a foil.
Yeah.
She has the rich life Rory would have had if she'd been raised like Lorelai.
Yeah.
But Tristan is the born and bred rich mean boy. So it creates the conflict to build the rising action.
Well, and I also think too, it also gives us the levels of antagonism that's at Chilton. So we've got Tristan, we've got Paris, we've got Headmaster, so there's certain people that we've established in this episode so far that are definitely antagonistic and are definitely antagonists, but there's different levels.
The Headmaster's scary.
Right? Yeah. I think he's terrifying. He's a character actor. I love how he plays. He's just so serious and so like you're just going to. What does he say? At one point he says failure is okay.
It's a part of life, but not at Chilton.
Yeah.
Not at Chilton. Yep.
Just like
I was like, God forbid you have any children.
Right. But it's also the school itself is almost an antagonist to Rory early on in this episode because she's a fish out of water. Later in this episode,
they're like, figure out how to swim or get out.
Yeah, there's no lifeguards. Yep. Sorry, girl, you're on your own.
So to be honest, it's kind of how I felt in Central Asia with trying to speak Russian.
Yeah,
it was very sink or swim.
Yeah,
it was hard. It felt antagonistic a lot of times. Like it was rough.
Well, this might. This is a bit of a criticism on some modern television writing. Rory has no friends at Chilton.
Yeah.
All day long. There is nobody who's there to help her.
She tries so hard.
And there's nobody to be kind to her. Like the teachers are like, get over it. Here's your study materials. Oh, and that's just the beginning. You should probably get someone's notes because they'll be more deep. So what I love about...
And it's a big fat binder.
Yeah. What I love about this, and this is more of a criticism. There's a lot of shows in this modern age, and this might make me sound like a fuddy-duddy, whatever you want to call, stick in the mud. What I don't sometimes like about shows is there's this element of like, oh, well, it's impossible, but we're going to work together and figure it out, and it's going to be okay. I don't want it to be okay. I want that character to be put through the ringer. I want, like with Rory, if you sit down and you look at her experience at Chilton from start to finish, it is not a good day. There is nobody throws it. Nobody tries to help her. There's not like a student who's like, oh, I'll sit with you at lunch because you seem like you're struggling. Everything, it's kind of like the Australian outback. Everything is trying to kill you. Everything at Chilton is trying to take Rory out and send her packing. Paris even says, why are they letting all these new kids in? Like there is an active, like students are actively trying and again upset at these outsiders because it's more apparently, according to this show, like according to this episode, there's more than just Rory. There's been a couple others maybe who've come in and they're stealing their files off of the desk to inspect and find a weakness. It is wild. So what I love about it is it's not like, oh, there's someone who's going to help me. It's no, Rory's on her own. And I like that the show gives us the knowledge that she's going to go through it and it's going to hurt. It's not going to be a great day. And we being okay with that is hard because every step of the way, she doesn't win anything. Nothing goes right for her the entire day. By the time she gets back into her mom's arms.
She has one victory over Paris.
Yeah. One minor, right? It's a moment in class where she answers the right question and she gets it and she tries to help and she tries to throw herself to the wolves. And I guess Silvana, to sort of back into writer's lane, do you think I'm right or do you think I'm crazy?
I can't wait.
I think you're right. I don't think you're crazy. Okay. I actually agree.
Yeah.
To the shock of everybody.
Yeah. It's so. What is it? Why? I mean, I get it because there's this idea of social emotional learning, and we do this in high school, and we do it with our students. And there's the idea you should never try and do it alone. Da, 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 da. I'm wondering if that's what's happened with writing, with show writing and movie writing, is that it's no longer. So we talk about the hero's journey, right? Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, and how important that is for the hero to go it alone or to eventually find someone to. But they don't. It doesn't start out with someone to help them. They don't like. Luke Skywalker, he doesn't get a friend until he picks up Obi-Wan Kenobi and finds him and but gets beat up, and then loses Obi-Wan Kenobi by the end of the movie, and but then he's got a group of friends, but those friends are not they are not close. Like Han Solo eventually takes off on his own little thing to do his own deal, and so he leaves Luke behind, only to come back and save him at the last minute. But there's stakes. The stakes are high. They're not like Princess Leia doesn't like Han Solo. They're flirty, but she's like, you're awful and I don't like you. So there's not this. The team takes time to come together. It takes, and this is the thing with Gilmore Girls. I just said that weird. Sorry. With Gilmore Girls, it's like Gilmore Girls. It's like a masterpiece theater. Welcome to Gilmore Girls.
No.
Coming up next on Masterpiece Theater.
No.
Written by Julie Andrews.
Right. Starring.
Although I love Julie Andrews.
Stars
I was trying to think of the lady
sound of music. That was inappropriate, and I apologize to Dame Julie Andrews. She is so much better than that, and is not an. I'm terrible.
We are humble admirers.
Yeah, we are.
I appreciate that apology.
Humble
I'm
admirers.
cringing over this other side, like, oh.
Anyway,
you cringe on her behalf,
right? Yeah. So there's this phenomenon in like a lot of storytelling and filmmaking is that you have these sudden teams that work well together and it's all about the team. And while I understand that and I acknowledge that that's important, we should never do life alone. To see it in a movie, it kind of cheapens the effect of the hero's journey of believing in your hero and watching your hero fail and have to struggle on their own until they finally find somebody. And even finding a team member or a friend, it's still a struggle to build that relationship, to build that conversation, to build that connection, so that by the time Return of the Jedi shows up, everybody's in together. But guess what? It took 2 long feature-length movies for Han Solo to return back and be a part of that community and to be like, yeah, I'll lead the attack against the Imperial stormtroopers on a crazy island with a crazy planet with a bunch of teddy bears. Like, Han Solo would never have done that in episode 1 or 2, but episode 3, man, he is on board. But we got the story of how he does that through 2 full-length movies, and he wasn't perfect. He done all things happen. So I don't know.
It comes back to like having the time to develop that.
Yep.
Having the time to develop him and his character growth. If this first season of Gilmore Girls was only 8 episodes, by the end of the first, I know, can you imagine? By the end of the first season, Rory and Paris would be like best friends.
Right.
Truly, but there would be no beef at all.
Yeah.
And Lorelai and Luke would be married.
Yep.
Right? Because the timing is so much shorter, 8 episodes versus 24. So I think it just circles back to like having the time to grow those characters' personal character development as well as the relationships to the other characters.
Yeah. And I think and here's the thing, I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. I think we're going to keep getting 8 to 10 episodes a season for shows.
Yep.
And I think
part of it.
Go ahead.
Part of it's just expensive. Yeah. I think they maybe used to spend a little bit less on set and props and CGI and now everything is so expensive that it takes 2 years to produce a season to work with everybody's schedule, and it's all so pricey that they genuinely, I don't think they can afford to do more than 8 episodes.
Yep. And it's unfortunate. I don't know how to. I mean, I know how to fix it, but it would require some really significant kind of probably giving both the studios and actors giving up some of it, because again, we had the actor strike and then we had the voice actor strike. So there's been a bunch of strikes that have been resolved. But there's also a reason why studios have been flirting with AI actors. There was the story that there's an actual AI actress, can't remember her name because I didn't want to remember.
Tilly something.
Yeah, Tilly something. Is that they're actually talking about, we could use her. And I don't know if you saw this, but there was a documentary that the BBC or one of their related channels put out. It was like, watching out what's the impact of an AI actor on the world or AI actors. And at the end of the episode, the newscaster person who had been hosting the whole show said, well, you've been watching, I'm an actual AI. I'm an AI newscaster, and this is the impact. And so it was this moment of going like, oh boy. If you've seen the Sora stuff on Facebook, there is a lot of content coming out of Sora, which is an AI generating video generator. It looks alarmingly real in how it's being presented.
That's terrifying.
But you see the logo in the lower right hand corner, and you're like, oh boy, that's weird. And so there's this duality, right? We want good storytelling, we want good acting, but there's, again, actors cost money, and some of them cost more than others, and production companies and movie making studios, they're looking to make money. But here's the other thing: they're turning out junk. So it's like it's like you in the amount of so this is the other problem, and then we'll get back to Gilmore Girls. I promise. We've talked about this a little bit on this podcast and other podcasts, but the amount of the glut of content that's being produced via streaming platforms, this is the problem I have. So people are like, well, there's not enough money. I'm like, well, then stop making 16 million shows a year or 16 million movies, because there's so much content. There's no way for us to consume it all. And I get it, like independence, like it's working, but the glut of the content isn't good storytelling. It's not people. It dilutes the quality.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason why Marvel right now is struggling. The last couple of Marvel movies haven't had the impact that they thought it would. The last Jurassic Park got mixed reviews. People didn't really want to see it. They weren't excited about it because it was just the same old story.
I mean, talk about beating a dead horse. Yeah. That thing is skin and bones at this point. Yeah. Stop. Do something new.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the thing, is they're reinventing, they're rebooting, they're doing all this stuff. And it's
I stopped with Jurassic World. To me, that should have been where it ended.
Yeah, but they wanted to
all right, no more island, no more dinosaurs.
Well,
Terrible
there's
idea.
Power and nostalgia. That's why Gilmore Girls came back for its limited run, because people wanted to see the finish of that story, which eventually we'll get to. So yeah, I'm with you, Silvana. I watch a lot of older stuff. I don't watch a lot of the new television, because it, like, for example, like The Diplomat on Netflix. Season, I think three is out now, and they've greenlit a season 4. But that show feels like it's just constantly on. There's constantly something happening, and I don't have a lot of breathing time. And so this latest season, I'm like, I want to watch it because I'm interested in the story, but I'm also just like, it is stressful. There is so much happening at all times, and it's the weight of all that stuff, the implications of what's happening it's huge. There's no moments of like quiet brevity or levity. It's just like we're going. It's just like,
you know what the best example of that I can think of?
Yeah.
Do you remember the show 24?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes.
And each episode was like
an hour,
like a single hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is how all shows are now.
Yeah.
Every episode, for them, every single like those people don't have one single hour of sleep at night without something happening. Yeah. Now it's those shows, but it's condensed, but like there's never a moment where something is not happening.
Yeah. And that's wild. And I think that also it gives you fatigue. Like that's why people tune out. They don't watch a lot of shows, and that's why they have to find.
Makes me anxious.
Yeah, there's not a lot. It's.
We wonder why this generation coming up has a lot of anxiety problems.
Yep. Because
it's definitely one of them.
All the shows are so high impact.
Ted Lasso is great.
Yes, So that's okay. Yeah, good television. If you've never,
I just want to defend Ted Lasso. That's a good show.
If you've never watched Ted Lasso, that's definitely something to check out. It's definitely worth your time.
And this is speaking for someone who's not a TV fan, and that one is great.
Okay, back into the headmaster's office.
Of course he's friends with
Emily.
Grandparents.
Yeah. So Lorelai and Mom are having a thing.
Although I do appreciate a joke about like, well, we're gonna see it's a contest to see who's worse at golf. I chuckled. I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're both bad, but they're each other's company. That's cool.
Yeah. What I love, so the line I love from this scene is, well, there's nothing like friends, especially if they're old.
They're old.
Like, oh, you put your foot in your mouth. Yep.
Her anxiety rambling is some of my favorite lines in the show.
Yeah. I swear,
love her anxiety rambles.
Yeah.
Yeah, did Rory elbow her, or did you just hint at it, or like just look at her? Because I swear
they all just kind of look at her like, "What the heck did she just say?" And then just quietly move on to the next bit.
And then you have to take off the coat.
Oh.
And she's like, "No, I'm fine." It's like, "No," and she's like, I like it warm."
It's like, "Can I talk to you in the other room, Grandma? Like, explain about the coat."
Yeah. And then she takes off the coat and says, Laundry day.
Which is just such a human moment. But like, man, in this scene with these characters, they do not allow for those human moments. Failure does not happen in Chilton. It might happen in life, but not here. And Lorelai walks into the school on a failure.
Yeah. And it doesn't stop. And that's what I love about this show is that so as much as sometimes Lorelai makes very poor decisions or says very dumb things or like inappropriate things or stuff that's just like, why, Lorelai, stop talking.
Girl, what?
Yeah, but I think the show, what I love about it is that it doesn't let her escape the embarrassment. Yeah. It hits her hard, so she does pay
every
for
time.
it. Yeah, every time, and it's unflinching, and so that's what makes it good television. But also, like, you flinch because you're like, oh, this is gonna hurt. Oh, that was no fun. Oh my god.
Because she pays for it, and we pay for it too with the sympathy uncomfortable.
Right. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, I've done something like that, or I've been there before. Which again, good writing makes you feel like you're part of the show because you've experienced it all. That kind of thing. So they get out in the hallway. Grandma and Mom are talking. And
do you need a ride, or is your horse out back?
I'm so mad.
I love it so much. And I think it's because Emily is not nice in these early episodes. But it's also you understand from the first episode that Lorelai hasn't seen her parents in quite some time and has not brought their daughter to see her in quite some time. And so
again, Emily's coming from the place of like, don't throw away this opportunity.
Right. Well, and also, like, I have a chance to be a part of my granddaughter's life. I'm taking it.
That too.
And I don't care if my daughter hates me because my daughter already hates me. So there's nowhere to go but nowhere. Like, we're already at the bottom of the hate cistern. That's a word I didn't ever think I'd used in comparison to hate.
Hate cistern, everybody.
A hate well. There we go. A hate well. Or cistern.
I think cistern sounds better.
All right, we'll go. There's your new Gilmore Girls lore update. There's a hate cistern of where Emily's hate lives in the depths.
A lot of stagnant water.
In the depths of the mansion where the darkness rests. That's
that voice
suddenly turned into like a haunted movie. Like,
my gosh.
Emily Gilmore with her cistern of hate in the depths of her.
Definitely Buffy the Vampire Slayer starting to merge.
Buffy, I'm the Slayer. I'm here to take care of the cistern of hate.
Some kind of evil swamp creature coming out of the cistern.
There's the universe connection.
There's an episode with like the swim team.
It's a crossover. We didn't need it. We didn't know we needed it. Gilmore Girls and Buffy together for one night only.
I would be so excited.
That would be great. But unfortunately, we're gonna get a new Buffy series. We'll see if it actually shakes out.
Yeah.
Okay. The last thing that Emily says is dinner Friday night. No Spurs, please. And Lorelai just is like, I'm out. Bye.
They do have the same humor, and they like weaponize it against each other. Like she's got the same sassy retorts. She's just better at it. Yeah. Lorelai is more of like the anxiety, just like vomit, where Emily is much more calculated. She knows the moments when to drop these bits.
Right. Lorelai is like a street fighter, and Emily is like a surgeon. Like she has her like assassin knives ready to just, and then she just walks away and says, ha, 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 that hurt, didn't it? I can just see
Lorelai's fighting drunk. Emily has her fencing gear on.
Right. Yes. There you go. That's a fantastic. I love that image. Okay. So the interview goes on with the headmaster and Rory. He really kind of hits her like, what are your aspirations on your way to being? He beats her up about being Christina Amanpour, which is fine.
She doesn't get fazed by it.
Yeah, she just
answers all the questions.
Yep. Rory's like, not Cookie Roberts, not Oprah, Rosie, or one of them from The View. Nope. And he goes then like, why do you want to be here? I just want to do what she does, which is. And it's that we get the exposition, right? So a lot of shows would give us this in like a heavy-handed way. This show pulls it off and says, okay, you want to know more about Rory's dreams and who she wants to be? Okay, cool. Let's have her facing an adversarial headmaster who is judging her. Every question he asks and the answer she gives is judged, and you know it's judged because of how he's not sneering about it, but he's definitely not friendly. And it's just like this brutal boom, 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 kind of back and forth. But Rory doesn't, you can see on her face that she's starting to worry, but her confidence doesn't waver. She's still, she's still.
Not till the end.
Yeah, and that's, So you like the lobster puffs, huh? And then
yes.
Headmaster's like, take this Miss James across the hall.
Mm-hmm.
And
she reminded me of her mother in that moment with the lobster puffs.
So there's the narrative elements, right? Of like Lorelai is still a part of Rory as much as Rory is different and trying to be the grown up. You strip away all of her accomplishments and all of her confidence and who she is. She is Lorelai at the base of her heart. It's funny.
She's Lorelai's daughter, for sure.
She is. So she meets Miss James. Miss James gets all whatever, and then we get the folder gets captured, and Paris is basically like
dissecting her resume.
Yeah, dissecting her resume.
She feels threatened by her.
Sizing up the enemy. Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yep. And then so Paris says, why are they letting all these extra people in? They just take up space and screw up the curve. We don't need any new kids here. That is brutal. That is mean.
You know, but
yes.
I've seen it sometimes.
Oh,
where it's like,
yeah. In big high schools or private schools, there's a sense.
Or even like in some cities or towns, they don't like the new people.
Yep.
Please don't move here.
Yep. And then Miss James is rapid fire, like locker number, school, rule, here, bam, 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 bam. Any questions?
Your guidance counselor only handles school stuff. Otherwise, bulimia and pregnancy, you have to go to Coach Rubens.
Right.
Welcome to Chilton.
At that moment, I was like, oh boy, welcome to hell. Good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back. So what I love about this show is that it gives us these moments of like, whoa, this is intense. And then to your point, Silvana, you talk about the humor of Lorelai. She allows us to chuckle for a few minutes because she's back with Luke, hanging out in the place, and she sits down, and I already had the longest day of my life.
And you think he's being so sweet to just give her coffee, but it's decaf.
Well, he's threatening her with tea.
Right. She's like,
I do not need I need coffee.
He's like, there's no coffee.
But I feel that like this is a chocolate day.
Yeah. She's like, this is a jumbo coffee morning. I need coffee. He's like,
don't give me an apple. I need chocolate.
He says, I can give you tea and a balance bar. Balance bars were the jam back in those early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're still around now. He says, I'm kidding. He goes back and he says, you're sick. Yep, you're a fiend. For here to go. Do you want to know what this stuff does to your nervous system? Do you have a chart? Because I love charts. Like, she's just, you can tell that they're old friends, obviously, and that kind of stuff. And,
yes.
And he looks at her and says, that's how you trust Roy. So I love this running gag, right? Miss Patty starts in on her later.
No.
Luke starts in on her. Mom starts in on her. Everyone's just like, that's what you want. She's just
like, just rub salt in the wound. Just pour some lemon juice on it. Why don't you?
Yeah.
I think it's meant to add to like everybody's having a bad day. Rory going through it. New school. Everybody's mean. Lorelai going through it. Everybody's making fun of her for how she looks in her poor planning. It's just like both of them are just having a miserable freaking day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get he says it's decaf, and she's just mad.
She just walks out, doesn't say anything.
He just kind of he pulls like a chicken bone out of the toaster. It's fantastic.
That would be like you give me chocolate and being like, don't thank me, it's sugar free.
Yeah. Oh, that would be terrible.
I'd be like, what did I do to you?
That would be mean.
You would never do that.
Okay, so we meet Miss Patty again, and she's talking about
they're balancing books on their heads.
Well, no, that's later. This is where she's like, visualize, ladies, it's Thanksgiving Day parade. You're standing on Fifth Avenue. Now, here's what I love about Miss Patty. When you hear her doing these lessons,
she's so boy crazy.
She know these are not stories for them. These are stories of Miss Patty's life.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Like when she says, "There's 100 beautiful boys marching in place behind you, and there you are. You're out in front
you are
with your fabulous legs and your perfect tush." I'm like, "What is happening? Your batana's on fire, and the crowd goes nuts." And she's, "Okay, cookie time." I'm just like, "What is going on?" And then she says, "Lorelai, hi."
Is that the outfit you wore?
She's like, "Oh, look at the time. See you, Patty." Oh my gosh.
And then the ladies, what do we see? Naked girls. No, keep the leotards on. This is not Brazil, which is just so on par. My nieces are turning 5 tomorrow, and like it is a struggle to keep them in any kind of clothing. They just want to be in their undies playing. That's it. That's the main priority.
Oh, kids are crazy. Even like first grade, I'm like, stop taking your shoes off.
Yep.
But I have rocks
Leave the
in
socks
them.
on.
Do not take the. Please wait till after class.
Yeah. So then we get back at the Gilmore house. Lorelai's conversation with mom.
Okay, this is the only time in this episode that I feel like I'm on Emily's side.
Yep, I agree.
When she's like, I just want to buy her something. Okay, this has literally been a conversation between me and my mom sometimes.
Yeah.
With like, and Aaron and I have had this discussion multiple times. My parents they like to give gifts.
Yeah.
For birthdays, Christmas, and Aaron is not a gift guy.
Nope.
He's like, I don't need anything. And
I'm good.
It's a continual conversation that comes up several times a year. Vicki, help us get something for Aaron.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a moment where, and I don't know if it was intentional on the writer's part, but we really are just like, Lorelai, take the gift. Now, and Silvana, you may have an opinion on this, but what do you think? Why do you think Lorelai pushes back? Why is that such a heavy response for her that she refuses? She's absolutely combative against her mom giving Rory anything that would be construed as her what Rory needs.
I mean, part of it is just her normal dynamic with her mother. Her mother could offer her gold strings not attached, and I think Lorelai would be like, yeah, no flipping thanks.
Yeah.
The other part of it is just the resisting of having her mother inserted any farther into her life. Yeah. She already surprised them showing up in the office to meet the headmaster. Yep. She's already ingratiated themselves into every single Friday when they have plans. Doesn't matter what's going on, they have a Friday dinner to attend. So I think it's just the continued pushback of the eventual integration of her mother into her life even more. And like, is it kind of illogical? Could Rory probably use another skirt and some socks? Yes. But Lorelai, whoever we're talking about, whoever this is not a reliable narrator.
Yeah.
We love her, but like, she is not reliable. She's not reliable to have laundry done on the first day of her daughter's private school. Right. Like, Chilton, so it's just part of her character to be kind of ornery, even if it's coming at the cost of Rory. She's not always reliable.
Well, and I think to your point as well, she's doesn't want her mom to have purchase in her life. She doesn't want her mom to have influence. And
not a single more sock for her to be in there.
Right, because it would and it's part of, I think, probably like subcontextually or contextually even, is Lorelai has been doing it on her own for so long, and she's been pretty successful. She's raised a good daughter. She's done those things, and now all of a sudden, all of that is being called into question because she couldn't afford to send her daughter to private school. Her mother is now it's almost like her mom's trying to take charge of responsibility for Rory, and Lorelai is just, I think every button Lorelai has is being pushed right now, and it's being pressed at different points in different places, and it's just like everywhere she turns, she's hitting a wall of her mother is constructing, not that she feels like is gonna block her from having a relationship with her daughter and being able to be successful in that, because suddenly grandma's like, oh, look what I can do, and Lorelai's like, Mom, what are you doing? Stop. And it's a theme in this episode. There are at least the 2 or 3 moments or times where she has to tell Emily, please, no, stop, I'm fine, I've got this. And this conversation, this is the one where I did go, okay, Lorelai, just take the clothes. Like, of all the things your grandmother has done, or your mom has done so far, this is the least offensive. This is just her wanting to get your daughter some clothes. It's fine. It's gonna be okay. Get over it.
I think for her, it's like the principle of the matter.
Yeah, and that's hard
it's
for
not
Lorelai.
Actually about the clothes.
Yeah, no. And Lorelai is independent, and she's fiercely independent, and she doesn't.
She wants to be capable too.
Yeah, and to have her mom doing it for her suggests that, as kind of as I was alluding to before, she feels incapable. She feels like all the things I've done in the past mean nothing now. And it's all Emily trying to run my life, and it's just like, no. But at the end, she does say, okay, well, the 6 is great. I gotta go, Mom. Bye. And then we get into the teaching, the classroom scene, where she gets the notes and things. And the teacher's...
It's a whole binder to catch up on. Yep. Oh, and in addition to the binder, borrow somebody's notes.
Yep.
Everybody's mean to you, but borrow somebody's notes.
Yep.
Oh, I have weird trivia.
Yep.
This teacher who gives her the binder is later in a movie with Tristan. and he's playing a teacher in this movie.
Oh, okay.
So called a Cinderella story.
Oh, Cinderella story. Oh my gosh, yes, classic story.
I love that with Hilary Duff.
Yep. It's a that's a good one.
Classic.
Good old, and Hilary Duff seems to be experiencing a renaissance in her career right now, which is good. She's back in the public eye, which she's been out for a while. And then Paris basically gets into the face of Rory. I'm Paris. I know who you are. Like, you can call me Rory. Are you going out for the Franklin? The what? Like, she's just rapid fire. Nice innocent act. At least I'm not going for the drama club. She's like, I have to put my locker first. I'm going to be editor next year. Well, good for you. Like, Rory has no... Paris, I think, has got in her head that Rory is coming for her. And she's going to take her out. And it's over. And I have to squash this like I'm going to take care of it right now. And it's like... Paris, what is that? So I think I love that there's probably a story to Paris's paranoia, that she's probably had people challenge her in the past, so she's become this like very paranoid, very like vicious.
Plus, it's like her first day. She's just trying to survive. She's like, I'm not trying to be a threat. Oh my gosh.
I'm top of my class. I'm about to. She's like, I'm going now. You'll never catch up. You ever beat me. This school's my domain. Frank's my domain. Don't you forget that. And Rory says, I guess you're not going to let me borrow your notes, huh?
No, I feel so bad for her.
Yeah. And once that season is done, once that scene is done, not season, sorry. Scene is done, we are back with Sookie and Jackson.
The fruit man.
That made me so happy. I'm like, oh, it's a meet cute, except they're fighting about a peach.
And they...
As a Georgia girl, I kind of get it, because I'm like, the way they feel affects it.
Well,
I talked to Aaron about this.
Yeah, there's a whole
thing.
thing.
To train him.
But again, it comes back to what I was talking with Yusuf about is that, again, we had a pretty, very, brinkmanship kind of conflict between Paris and Rory. And then, hey, now we're going to have some fun. Now we're going to chuckle about peaches.
Here's your comedic relief.
Right. And so
being too water.
Right. Within the structure of the show, I think it's really brilliant of how they do this is we get into it like that previous conversation is a big reveal that Rory's going to be threatened by Paris. There's going to be some conflict. Oh boy, we're worried for her. Hey, here's Melissa McCarthy and Jackson and the guy who plays Jackson having some fun and just making it crazy. And I love his line. He's like, oh, great. Be sure to check them all. That's it. Give it every last one of them a nice, good squeeze. You wouldn't want to leave the one that I could sell to anybody else. Oh, wait a minute. You missed one. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. I'm just going to let you in your impeccably good radar. There it is. You got it. It's just so sarcastic and salty.
And she just is diving like a cartoon character head first into the barrel.
Right.
That's great too.
And I think it speaks again. This is Melissa McCarthy's first real character, and I think it speaks to her talent and her ability that she comedy. She runs this character. She absolutely's got the chops. There's a reason why she's one of the bigger stars in this day and age now. What I love about it, he's like, taste this. Lorelai's like, a little watery. He's like, oh, you planned this. It's a conspiracy.
We had a discussion about mothers asking for gifts because my mom was texting me asking about birthday.
Yeah. And then they roll the peaches. They're rolling differently because of the water. But again, it's funny because we're with Jackson. Yes. We're like, what is going on? Sookie, why are you so weird? But she's weird.
There's a little part of me that kind of gets it though.
Yeah. And then, of course, our favorite antagonistic, sarcastic French-Canadian, Michel. Excuse me, there's a phone call for you. I'm to fetch you like a dog. I'd like a cookie, and it is. And so it's just like every time.
Is it related to Emily? Maybe.
Yeah. And then it's Michel again, the best line when the scene changed. And they're like asking about antiques, and he's like, at your house, I would guess.
I said all that I burst out laughing.
It's just... I love it so much.
There have been times I've walked into museums and I'm like, this is my great aunt's house.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yep. So Drella is playing loud. Again, the character development with Drella is fun. And Lorelai's like, I can't say the actual full line, but she's like, hey, do I look like I got to have a Panasonic stamped on my beep? And it was just like, all right, cranky pants McGee over there. But the conversation about go ahead.
She's balancing Drella being, being professional, as well as her mother, once again trying to find another loop into her life. Yep. I bought Rory a car space. Rory doesn't have a car. I think Rory's like 16. I don't think she knows how to drive yet. And if she does, I think it's like a learner's permit at best.
Yeah.
He's like, please do not get her a nice new car.
Well,
Give her a used car.
she says, like, are you, hey, Mom, you're not buying Rory a car. Why not? She's a smart girl. So Emily has already decided. She's got the parking space. She's going to buy her a car. It's all.
Yep.
Emily is 16.
Been planned.
Right. She is 16 steps away from ahead of Lorelai. And Lorelai's like, she's taking the bus. A really kind of offensive thing, but she's like, I hate that she's taking the bus. Drug dealers take the bus. You have to think for a second and accept that Emily lives obviously in a mansion. She has a certain view of society. Yes. That's her bit of uncouth, inappropriate belief. But because she believes in her daughter deserving the best, and she shouldn't have to hang around with the everyday person. And in her head, that's with the everyday person.
And apparently it's a bad thing to be around the everyday person.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It is. It's the classism coming into play.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we get to the Tristan, and I don't like Tristan. I think we've talked about this. I don't like it. But we also get the moment where he's like, oh, I could loan you my notes if it would help. And we're just like, no, Rory, don't do this. Bad Rory. Squirt bottle. Rory, stop it.
Well, she also needs the notes. I understand her here, where she's like, someone's offering, and then quickly she's like, oh, wait.
Well, and then he immediately gets weird and pushes her into a wall, being like, how good.
Yeah, I could even help you study. And she's like, I kind of view studying as a solitary activity, but thanks.
Like, I'm not interested.
Yeah, no, bad Tristan. And then there's an issue with the car. This is a weird scene. It's kind of funny. Like,
oh yeah, there's a scratch.
Yeah, there's a scratch. The boy says, "Oh, nice outfit." Derek walks off, and then Michelle, your faithful pooch is here to say someone needs to talk with you, and it's that whole thing. And it's Jack. It's Ian Jack from Chilton.
The dad.
Yeah. And he says, it's not my mother, is it? And he's like, it's possible. And she looks at Ian, she's like, it's possible. And Michelle says, there's a resemblance.
He can tell that Chilton's connected. I don't know.
Michelle is mean. And there's no way. There's no way that Ian Jack has any resemblance to Emily Gilmore. But Michelle
Is it the privilege?
Michelle does not care.
No, and I think probably, and I know we get to see him and Emily interact later in the show, but at this moment, you can just tell Michelle hates, I don't want to say hates, he dislikes anybody but himself. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is the enemy, and he is not, and he only under threat of unemployment does he actually do his job. Otherwise, he's just like, my name is Michelle, and I do not care. And it's just like, all right, Michelle is on his, he is the wild man of the Independence Inn, and he just gets to wander around and do whatever he wants. And so Ian is trying to like kind of flirt with her. Lorelai is trying to push him back though. She's like, enjoy your lunch. We're a little food obsessed, aren't we? That's it. You're a dad and you're a mom, although I'm still finding that hard to believe. I know you're a Chilton dad. Ooh, that sounds bad. I'm just like, oh my gosh. No, I don't like him. Does she actually say no? She says no.
Yeah, she does. She's like, this is no.
Well, I think she understands at a level that mixing in with, and this becomes a problem later on with Chilton, specifically with somebody else at Chilton, where she's like, I don't date anybody on the PTA. I think
I'm not on the PTA. You're still a Chilton dad.
And then she says, you're not. I don't date anybody who's not on the PTA. And so he picks up a card from the desk, puts in a suit. Lorelai Gilmore, general manager. I'll talk to you soon. Have a safe trip. I will. And she watch. I love this. As she watches him walk off, he does that so well. Michelle is like, you're making me sick. Oh, now, honey, you tried. I'll watch you walk away too. Stupid. Come on now, walk. It can't be that bad. Go away. And then she's like, but she is equally a sassy pants.
Oh, she's funny. It's fun to poke the bear. I do this with Aaron all the time.
Yeah. It's wild. So then Drella is like, that's lunch. And people are like, is she done? Is that? And it
sounds like she stops.
Just gets up and walks away.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's just done. And then she breaks. Look, so Rory breaks Paris's thing, the project.
Oh, I felt so bad for her. This is 100% me as well.
Yeah. And then she kind of gets everything together. And I need Mrs. Ness history. He's like, it's behind you. And she says, of course it is. And then Paris is like, you've got to be kidding me. And of course, Tristan's in there. And Paris says, I don't have my project. Yes, no. And Rory stands up and says, it's my fault. Rory Gilmore, shut up. And Paris is like, shut up. I don't have a Rory Gilmore. I have a Lorelai. That's me. And so it's this whole idea of like Paris doesn't want her help. Paris, as much as Paris hates her for what she did to her, she doesn't want her. And I think we get a bigger picture of Paris as the show goes on. Again, I love the slowly but unfolding exposition that Paris has every reason to be like, she did it. She was awful. She's terrible. But Paris doesn't choose that method. She just says, okay,
Yep. She was going to take it on the chin.
Yeah. And Paris says, stop it, whatever. Miss Gilmore, you wrecked Miss Gilmore's project. You have until tomorrow. And Paris says, no, I don't want your help. She says, just stay out of this. I'm trying to help you. Well, don't. Like, it's so fascinating. I love that. I think in other shows, more recent shows if this had been said in a more recent show, Paris and her would have built a friendship slowly but surely through this episode, but they don't. They are definitely antagonist, protagonist, and they say hi to her, and then Tristan continues with the Hello Mary. We get that explanation here for a moment, and then we're back at the Stars Hollow sign. Miss Patty says, walk smooth. That's the new Harry Potter on your head. If they should drop Harry will die, and there won't be any more books. I'm
that's
like, well,
cruel. I mean, that's effective, but that's mean.
Yeah. And then she shows up at Luke's fling, and she's like, I have to pick Rory. He pours her coffee without any argument. She says, thank you, no lectures. She says, my blood sugar's low. I'll eat an apple and get back to you. And so we get kind of the unfold of how she's felt. And then the moment where we understand that Luke does have feelings for Lorelai. He doesn't say it, but he's really, are you going? He's being like, oh, what's going on? She's like, no, he's got a kid in school with Rory.
Finding out the dad asked her out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, no, he's got school. He's like, good. She's like, good? He's like, yeah, I think it's a good thing that you turned him down. She's like, okay. I mean, he's probably old, right? Old? I mean, he's got a kid in high school. Well, so do I. Well, you were young when you had Rory. Like, again, Lorelai's like, old, yeah, like the guy who asked me out. Well, you're not going. No, I'm not going. So she kind of smiles, thinks he like there's this whole thing. Her phone rings. There's a sign in Luke's diner, which we will have referenced multiple times in the show, that says no cell phones. And then,
I missed that.
Yeah, it's always been there. It's fantastic. No, this is the point. Okay, no. The decaf issue didn't happen.
It's here?
It's here.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh, we apologize for the error. This is where he says, keep it. I gave you decaf. He doesn't want to let her pay for it because he was, again, he's
honest at least.
I think this is flirtation for him. This is how Luke kind of flirts a little bit.
Yes.
And we get to meet Babette. Oh, Lorelai, I'm so sorry. I had to call you like this.
Oh my gosh, this voice.
And I just love it so much. And we find out that there's some guys at the place, and they're installing
do that voice again and talk about kicking the gnome.
Hold on a second here. Where is it? And then we meet more Babette, and I think it's Maury. Maury is his name. So he's like, tell her the gnome. She's like, they kicked the gnome. What? Right in the head. It's just not cool. He's fine, sugar. I wouldn't trust these boys. Gnome kicking says a lot about a man's character. And so I love Babette.
But it's so small town, like these funny little conversations.
Yeah.
Like there's this choir I'm part of with a bunch of old ladies and Aaron, and this is a normal interaction.
Yeah. So we meet Mick, who this is the only time. So it's Sean Gunn, who is a famous actor
who becomes Kirk later.
Who becomes Kirk. So we get Mick, and then in a couple episodes now on the road, we get Kirk and his long-suffering role in this show.
His jobs keep changing.
Never has the same job.
He's like your grandpa.
Yeah.
He's like Otto, honestly.
He did have a lot of jobs in his time. So then there's the back and forth about the frog, the turtle, whatever, and I don't need to.
That's so funny.
They tell her who ordered it. And I love the Shakespeare.
Oh, I'm furious with Emily.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
But again, she feels like she's trying to do everything for her granddaughter.
This is escalated. This is a
so
bridge too
to
far.
your point, Silvana, I think you mentioned some Shakespeare stuff earlier. This is my favorite line. Oh, nothing Shakespeare couldn't turn into a really good play. It's like, I can imagine.
True.
Yeah, I can imagine. It would be amazing. So we have Rory gives the answer before Paris. She beats her out. And Paris is like, I will make this school a living hell for you. We get more.
I've literally had a girl tell me that in high school.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah. And then we get Tristan, see you tomorrow, Mary. And Rory for like the 15th time in this episode, my name is Mary. Or sorry, my name is Rory. I was going to do it to her. My name is Rory. I guess the next scene, Silvana, my question for you, I guess, is what is the next scene it's in the hair salon, obviously. What do you think this says about Lorelai as a character? Like, and why does this scene exist?
She's willing to push back. I mean, so her mother has intruded on Lorelai's day, 3-4 times now?
Yeah.
And this is Lorelai doing the same thing. Shows up where she is in her safe space, in her salon with her friends and her crowd, and is the one being like, no, enough. So it's the fight of wills. Lorelai is taking the stance that her mother has been doing all day of intrusion, and she just gives it right back to her. She will do the same thing. She will show up unannounced and intrude on her safe space.
Well, and I think, to your point, like this is for the whole series. Emily has been in Lorelai's spaces, and now that the roles are that I think Lorelai's finally been like, that's it.
She literally gives her a taste of her own medicine.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny is that the fact that Lorelai knows where her mother gets her hair done at least suggests that she knows her mother's routine, is at least tangentially aware of it in some capacity. And she says, do they validate parking here? There's a stamp at the desk. Thank you. So, it's a pretty intense, like, Lorelai lays down the law, but Emily's obviously embarrassed. And then we get to the end here where Lorelai picks her up. She's dressed normally. Rory gives her a hug, and both are basically like, we've had a sucky day. This has been terrible. What's interesting, so the order that Lorelai talks about is triple caps easy foam. That is 3 shots of espresso.
Oh, jeez.
In that cup.
This is why Aaron. So this is what a thing you contribute to the podcast.
So I
didn't know that.
I was a barista in the past. So she's talking about a triple caps. That's a triple cappuccino. So that's 3 shots of espresso in a cappuccino, easy on the foam. So it's basically kind of like a small, like a latte, but there's still foam on it. And so those are 3 shots in each drink. So she's got her 3 shots in a cappuccino, and her daughter now. And this is probably 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. These girls know how to use their caffeine. It's just
the fact that they sleep at all is impressive.
Right?
Because Lorelai's supposed to be in her 30s there. If I have that much caffeine at 3 p.m., I will not be asleep until the following evening. I'm up.
Yeah, I don't do coffee in the afternoon, but I have people in my life I see at least on a weekly basis who are like, caffeine I can have it at night. I'm fine. And I'm like, what?
I don't know if I'm jealous or if I fear them or for them. It's a confusing feeling.
That's not normal. That's not normal.
Yep.
No.
Yeah. So we get that. We get back. We hang out with Lane a little bit. Lane reveals that she's late for dinner and that her mom.
She's on a tofu kick.
She found a website that sells tofu in bulk. And she went out and bought a bigger fridge. and then she asks Lorelai, she asks Rory for her pizza crust. You have to imagine that this girl is on the vegan diet, and so she's desperate for any normal food.
Give me carbs.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
And then they finally kind of get to break down how crap their day was together. My day sucked, your day sucked.
Yep.
So
Lorelai dealt with her mom. Lorelai, her mom was her Paris.
Yes. Well, yeah.
She
says, I wish I could get away. I when I was in high school, I had a Paris, and she said, it was horrible. How'd you get rid of her? I got pregnant and dropped out. Now, here's the thing, though. I think there probably was a Paris in her high school.
Yes.
But to your point, Silvana, I think you're right. Emily is right now her Paris. They are antagonistic to a not quite violent degree, but it is not.
I mean, there was a point that Emily looked near tears, but honestly, she brought it on herself.
Yeah. Well, and both Lorelai and Emily's, there's neither of their sides of the street are clear.
True.
They both have unending piles of junk and baggage. They're just throwing it on. They're just piling it even higher and lighting it on fire, and it's a hot mess. She talks about how she got away with Paris, And then then the question at the end of this episode, I love this. She's like, they stop at the front of Luke's diner, and she says, Lorelai says, "Hey, what do you think of Luke?" I'm like, oh, here we go.
Well, she caught on. He was not so subtle, being like, "Good, I'm glad you're not going out with that guy."
Yeah. And so now Lorelai is like, "Oh, okay." Now, mind you, this is the comparison between the guy who was trying to date her, trying to ask her out on a date, the smooth, slick, kind of like practice dude. And Luke is just an everyday guy. He's got a restaurant. He's got his hat on backwards. Like, he's just who he is. And Rory's like, "What do you mean?" And then there's a back and forth. Like, "Do you think he's cute?" No. You cannot date Luke. She says, "You date him, you'll break up and we'll never be able to eat there again." She said, and Lorelai's like, "I repeat, I said nothing about dating Luke." Now, clearly she was wanting to see what Rory...
She's thinking
right,
it.
she's testing the waters.
And then Rory says, "Date Al from Pancake World. His food stinks." She says, "I cannot believe what I'm hearing. Al's food does not stink. Al stinks."
Al stinks.
Oh.
And then Luke, as they walk away...
I love this part so much.
Luke comes out of the diner and stares after the Gilmores. And then he closes his restaurant and goes back inside.
And it looks a little kind of exasperated because clearly he was hoping they would come in.
They would come in.
I love it so much, though.
Yeah, because it also speaks to Luke's longing, and he does. I mean, he's grown up in this town. So has Lorelai. I mean, he's probably had a crush on her secretly, off and on for years.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, that's how the show ends. That's how the episode ends. I like it. We'll go around with our ratings here in a moment. Remember, we're going to rate it based on something in the episode out of 10, and we'll just continue to do that rating. I'll start, and I'll let y'all prepare yourselves. Actually, I'll start a little bit, but I also don't want to like talk over and steal your ideas and commentary. I'll just say that I really like this episode. It's classic Gilmore's. Obviously, it's the episode 2. Like we're still in the opening phases of the season. We have plenty more episodes to go, but it sets us up for the format. It gives us the good stuff, and it also kind of lets us know that this show is not going to shy away from being challenging and stressful. But I'll talk more as I let you guys talk. So we'll go with Silvana first.
Wait, I thought you were going to rate it with the object from the
I will, but I don't want to talk too much. I'll talk in depth after you guys because I don't want to go too far into what I think, but I want to give you guys opportunity. So Silvana, we'll start with you. Thoughts on the episode and your rating out of 10 of whatever's in the show.
10 out of 10 Parises. This episode is very iconic to me. Along with the first episode, it's one of those that always stick in my head. Yeah. Like same with Buffy, the episode where Xander turns into a hyena, or where he joins the swim team because they're trying to figure out why people are turning into sea monsters. It's just like an iconic episode that sticks with me. The nostalgia is so intense that, like, of all the episodes, I will always remember to be able to quote this one. So 10 out of 10 Parises.
That's a nightmare. 10 Parises is just terrifying.
It is.
That's an army that you would send against like North Korea. They like
truly.
They would
take cover.
They would surrender within hours.
So quickly.
So much. All right, Vicki, what are your thoughts and your rating?
It's a really good episode. It just makes my heart hurt.
Yeah.
So like for me, it's well written. There's a lot of it's getting me to feel, which is good, but it's not one I would maybe rewatch a lot just because it just hurts my heart. So just the sympathy in me. But I give it 8 out of 10 watery peaches.
I really like this episode. I like the cringe parts. I like the struggle bus parts. I like the parts where it makes you uncomfortable. Because again, I think that's good television. Good television makes you want to skip. And I'll freely admit that I did do some fast forwarding just to kind of get out of it. But I did go back and watch the scenes again a little bit more. I was like, okay, I gotta be a big boy, and I gotta watch the show that I need to watch the whole episode. I would give it 10 out of 10 fluffy alarm clocks.
Oh my gosh, it purrs.
Yeah, purr.
Like, how's it gonna wake you up if it purrs?
Gotta love Lorelai. She's so wild and weird. I get a kick out of her. So there you go. There is episode 2 for the podcast. I know there are going to be some episodes that are coming that are going to be like, what in the world? Why? But I'm excited to see what happens next. We will catch episode 3. We are doing this. We record this every other week, so it's going to be a slow roll until we either we get motivated to do it every week, which maybe we'll see if that happens because we want to get through our season. But we're in it. We're in it for the long run. Hopefully you're enjoying us. If you have any comments, feel free. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can drop some comments in the comment section, or if you want to shoot an email, adelayedteacher@gmail.com. If you want to throw us some questions or ask us certain things about what you thought about certain episodes, feel free to send us questions or ask them in the comments. So when episode 3 comes around, if you've got stuff, you're like, hey, what did you think about this? What did you think about this? Hey, Gilmore Guys did it. I'm not saying we're ever going to be as big as the Gilmore Guys, because that was a unique social cultural moment. That podcast that went to the top and grabbed the big brass ring and went to the top of the mountain. I don't know if we'll ever get to the top of the mountain. We might get to the foothills, perhaps, down the road. But for the moment, we're happy to be in our little grassy little.
It's like Appalachia versus Mount Everest. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, we're on the Appalachian Trail. It's gonna be great. There's just watch out for bears.
It's pretty. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's fine. Just watch out for bears
and carry an umbrella. It rains a lot.
Yeah,
bears and Mothman.
Yeah, yeah. There it is. That's lovely. All right. Well, thanks for listening to the Gilmore Geeks. My name is Aaron.
My name is Vicki.
Silvana.
I love the musical piece of it. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
We will catch
I'm going to do it every time.
You should.
I'm not going to try and stop you. Until next time, we will see you on the next episode.
Raspberry flap of ours will be out in a moment. The kitchen is closed.